Guest in the studio, Philip Lopez is joining us this evening. Hey, well, hey Philip. How you
Hey,
doing?
man.
Good.
Hey.
How's things going tonight?
Things are going really well, man.
All right.
Blessed, brother.
We have a musician. Bill is I don't want to say a budding musician because he's got quite a lot of experience here. You can check it out right now. I guess we're live right now on Facebook on his channel. Just him. Don't show me.
Hold on.
No.
Chris didn't want me to
My professors told me when I was in school, hey, you got a great radio face.
Oh, so, no, I did not.
So anyway, this is WPNE 89.3. Got to give out the call letters. Wisconsin Public Radio's Kalihweyo'se show. We're in the studio with Philip Lopez, a musician who's both experienced in recording and also video work too. You do a little bit of everything. So Philip, how did you get interested in all this?
I think it came from long ago when I was a kid. I always had I actually started out drawing and doing pencil art, and I used to draw with pen, and my mom just helped kind of foster that. So I think a lot of that creative side come from her. She used to build our dance regalia and stuff like that. So I think I got a lot of my creative sensibilities from my mom.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And so you're also a writer. Would you consider yourself a poet? Or
Definitely, man.
Okay.
Definitely, yeah. A poet. Sometimes I can be a singer.
Well, you do have a nice voice.
Oh, thanks.
You do have a very good
I
voice.
appreciate you.
We have some music by Philip that we're going to play a little bit later.
Yes.
But right now, how did all this start, and when did you want to turn this into a career?
Man, well, I actually jumped back in this in 2016. Obviously, I started before then. I mean, to basically sum it up, my whole life has been a book that I've kind of lived out. And I've had a lot of ups and downs. My serious start with music came when I was actually graduated after high school, and my auntie had passed away not too long from that. She was very dear to me, and her death basically gave me my wings to push myself into the music industry. And I lived out in New York City for a few years, trying to break in and become involved in the music industry. I was completely homeless out there, didn't know anybody. Bought a 24-hour Greyhound bus ticket, took my last check from work, which was $600, and hopped on the Greyhound and straight out of Port Authority, man. Didn't have no place to stay, didn't know anybody, nothing like that.
What'd you do?
God, I knew that I needed to get shelter over my head, so that was like my first initial instinct was, okay, I gotta find someplace to stay tonight. And so I rushed to the nearest bodega and flipped through the phone book and came across...
All right, one minute. Well, for our listeners out there, well, for me, what's a bodega?
A bodega is just like a corner store.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what is that? Just a...
Basically, you go in there and it's just got like it's almost like a gas station.
Like a little general store that just serves food and stuff.
It's basically got the same products as a gas station.
Like a convenience store.
Yeah, like a little small convenience store. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And asked the guy who was the cashier if he had a phone book. Flipped to the phone book, found homeless shelters, and I ended up entering into the homeless shelter system. Their shelter system there is just like jail, man. I mean, the place that I went to was the intake center. Okay, this place was an old psychiatric ward that they turned into a homeless shelter. So it's 7 floors, 2 wings, and they housed...
Okay, is it as scary as they portray it on TV, or scarier?
For the homeless, that particular one, that one was pretty... Yeah, I was pretty freaked out by it the first night, man.
Like put your shoes under the bed so no one can...
All that, yeah. You get a locker, you got to lock it up, and the sheets that they gave me had bed bugs on them. And I knew that once I laid down in my bunk a cot. They give you like this 5-inch cot.
Yeah.
And laid down in my cot, laid my bedding down, laid down in bed, and I just could not stop itching for the life of me. And yeah, I knew it was bed bug.
So what did you think, like, when you went out to New York? What did you think was going to happen? Did you think like you were going to okay, well, let's take big pop star in the 80s, Madonna. She got to New York, she got in a cab, she says, take me to where the action is. The cabbie took her to Times Square, dropped her off, and whatever. The legends. What did you think was going to happen to you? Did you think that people were going to be like, oh, wow, this guy's a new artist and he's awesome? And
Exactly.
How old were you?
Man, I was 23. 23 at the time.
So you were pretty naive yet.
Yeah, big time, man.
Yeah.
I had no clue what it took to actually, you go. That's exactly what I thought. I thought I was going to go and perform at some open mics, garner attention from some big record executive that would be randomly sitting in the back. He would ask me what my name is, be quick to sign a record deal, and that was it.
And you were going to be living.
I was going to be a big star.
Living in the Dakota the next couple of weeks. Yeah.
Yeah.
Next month I'd be in the Dakota. I'll be living in the Dakota. Okay.
Yeah, man.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what happened when? What was it like when that didn't happen for you?
Well, it was a rude awakening. I didn't have that immediately when I got there. I had to get on my feet for a few months, and then I finally got the opportunity to perform. And when I finally performed, it was at this place called the Bowery Poetry Cafe, and they had an open mic hip-hop night. Had invited some music industry people out there, and it was a packed house. And when I performed, my response definitely wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I didn't get booed, but I definitely heard. I think I heard some crickets chirping or something.
Did you?
Yeah.
For what they say, did you die? Did you die on stage there, or did you?
I did, man. I think to me it was like I finally got a taste of how, ruthless the crowd was, their expectations, and just all that jazz, man.
Yeah.
So
yeah, people.
And it was out in a big city, so
right.
it was like it was a rude awakening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And when you thought everybody's gonna love you and all that.
Yeah, well, when you're performing back home, which I had prior to that, you get love from people and whatnot.
And encouragement.
Encouragement.
Right.
They encourage you because they see the talent in you, and and it ain't like New York where there's a competition out there, and people definitely get their ears get refined to what sounds good. So
right. Or it's like, okay, next.
Exactly.
Heard this before. Yeah, okay, cool. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And it's got to be. So what happened? I mean, did you? Apparently you came back here.
Yeah.
How long did you stay in New York?
I stayed in New York for about a little over 2 years. I stayed there for.
So what did you do for money? I mean, you finally got a job.
Yeah. I was actually I was a assistant store manager for a clothing store in Green Bay. So I took that experience being in retail and just basically brought it over to New York. Okay. Now that wasn't my first job though. My first job was that I landed the 5th day that I was there, was serving tables at this restaurant in Midtown Manhattan called Raffles. It was like American cuisine and whatnot. And I say the 5th day that I was there because the 2nd day that I was there, actually got all my stuff stole from me while I was in that first shelter.
Oh,
yeah.
Man.
And listen, this isn't just like my clothes or my shoes. I got my birth certificate, my social, my ID.
Everything.
My
Your
phone,
identity.
that last check that I came there with all that money, well, the $600, that was all gone. The 2nd day I was there, man. Yeah. So so I'm walking down the street and they have free newspaper stands, and that's how I responded to the ad in the paper from Raffles. And that was on the 5th day that I was there. I still had some nice clothes, put some nice clothes on, went to the restaurant, and they hired me, man. No, I didn't. I mean, I won't put them on blast like that, but let's just say, like, they let me in the door without that. I didn't have all that stuff.
You didn't have all the job requirement or the things that are required by an employer.
Yes. Yes.
And they cut you some slack on that.
Exactly, man. And I was making I made $150 the first night that I was
Uh-huh.
there. So somebody was looking. Well, my auntie Diane, God rest her soul, she was looking out because she had died that May before I left.
So you know what it's like to struggle. You know what it's like to deal with adversity.
Absolutely.
Now, you've recorded some things. What inspires you? What inspires you to write? I mean, what inspires? How do you put together a song? I like to ask our recording artists and those people who write and stuff. What inspires them to do that?
Definitely people, man. People inspire me. I want to like just constantly motivate people, and whether that's through a song that's about love or through a song that's about my hardships that I've been through.
Mm-hmm. What kind of music do you I guess cater to, or that
My genre's rap,
There you
hip hop.
okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Now, are you one of those? I mean, do you do? Is your rap clean? Is it mixed, or is it?
Yeah, I like to think it's real rap for sure. I don't swear a lot.
Okay.
It's funny because I don't swear a lot in my music, but sometimes I can curse a lot. Just in talking in general. Listen, I don't have a lot of vices, so I like
Yeah.
to cuss, man. You know.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, I'm getting ready to shut the mic down. So just
Yeah.
No, we talked about that
Got the
before we
buzzer.
came on the air. Yeah,
Chris,
we talked about that.
Chris, you let me know, brother.
Yeah. So you've been out to New York. You've had that experience. You're what are your dreams now? I mean, what do you want to do in life? I mean, what is your main motivation for?
Man, I definitely dialed back my dreams a lot in regards to the. It's not that they're not lofty anymore, but I just I think that the things that I valued back then that motivated me,
Mm-hmm.
I value different things now, and
Okay.
I think like the biggest thing is just I want to leave a legacy. That's like really important to me to pass something on. You know, I didn't know my real dad, and I didn't have any keys. You know, I didn't have
Yeah.
a lot of keys that were left to me, and the keys that were left were by my mom. You know, but I wasn't this things that a man teaches you or your dad, your father teaches you growing up that I just wasn't taught. So
Okay.
yeah. I like nice things too, man.
Well,
just
we
like
all do,
anybody
man.
do,
Yeah,
does, you
we
know?
all do.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, who wouldn't?
Yeah.
So let's listen to one of your songs. Now, you
Cool.
recorded this a couple months ago. Now, this was like in February or
Yeah, February, beginning of this year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
there was a bunch of native artists who got together and they put together.
These people were all these people are artists. Like,
Right,
these are all
right.
vets in the industry.
Yeah,
Actually.
and we have talked to Wade Fernandez is a very good friend of the show. Actually, he's home this week, and Wade's always got an open invitation to come
He's
by,
great,
do whatever, and he's a great guy. Now, you recorded a song with him,
Yes.
and well, let's give that a listen to here
Cool.
on 89.3 WPNE, the Kalihweyo'se show. Does your writing experience come from hardships? What goes on in your life?
Different things, yeah. I
Yeah.
definitely like to draw from like real life stuff. I don't talk about a lot of things that I haven't lived before, and if I do, then I kind of assert that like as a metaphor and always draw back with some sort of moral of the story, watchword or something in a song.
So when you're building a song, what comes first? Is the melody, the beats, or I mean, how does that all run together?
Like with Choose to Be, that came with the subject matter, and really that came out of the melody. You know, Wade sat there and he strummed the song, and he was coming up with the different chords, and as I was sitting there.
Were you guys sitting in a room together? And
Yeah,
just kinda,
yeah.
And then you were kind of freestyling?
Yeah, it was me, him, Frank Montano. He was the one that played the flutes.
Okay.
And then it was also Dustin Skinador who played the djembe
Okay.
in that song. Yeah. So
Dustin's a pretty
he's
talented
awesome, man.
individual, too.
He's a beast. Like he can play bass,
Yeah.
electric guitar, acoustic guitar, all that, man. He was great out there.
Yeah, I know. Wade's the same way. He can. he's been to the studio several times, and I mean, pick up anything, and one of the things I like about Wade is that one of the many things I should say is just this guy can compose right when you're talking.
Right on the spot,
Boom,
like
boom,
that,
boom.
man.
Yeah. And I
He's
don't know
a
if you've ever met,
beast,
have you ever
man.
met his kids?
No.
His kids are all
I've
like
seen
that.
them, but
they
yeah.
are all like that.
Yeah.
They're all just awesome
I
on
believe it.
instruments.
I believe
Pick
it.
up. I mean, we had one of his boys, Quentin, came in here with him. Gosh, it was about 2 years ago, and Wade started playing a song by Jimi Hendrix on his guitar, and Quentin was, I think maybe he was about 8 or 9, maybe 10, but he picks up a flute and he just starts jamming with him.
Wow.
And I wonder, how do you do that?
He built that. Like, well, let me just say that he's got a gift.
Well,
He's
I think all
definitely got a
musicians.
gift.
I mean, you've got that too. If you can freestyle something and all of a sudden, write it down and that's.
He's so on his craft though, you know what I
Mhm.
mean? That's the part that a lot of artists forget is they have to continuously stay on, and I'm only speaking from experience because I stopped,
Yeah.
and it took me a while to get back on, I didn't just pop back. When I decided to get back into this in October of 2016, like I still I had to like relearn, and
Right.
but he's a guy that just
Mhm.
and that's what he always told me. He said, "Don't stop writing, brother. Don't stop writing."
So when you write, do you when does inspiration hit you? I mean, are you always carrying a notebook or always carrying something to scribble something down? Or?
I definitely keep my notes application on my phone. I definitely keep my notes app pulled up.
Okay,
You know what I mean?
okay,
For sure.
yeah.
Yeah, that's definitely on deck. And somebody will have like a cool phrase that they said, and I'll have them break it down, and I'll write it down, and
Mhm.
maybe pull it back in a song somewhere. For sure, you gotta catch those moments of inspiration, because my friend D Boogie, I call him. He's a brother that was homeless with me in the shelter. He was the one that said, you should just always be capturing those moments. He said, because the energy still has to move, it still has to go somewhere, and somebody else might pick up that signal and.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? Drawing that inspiration, drawing that idea. We get some conversations. What can I say? I've gotten more involved with people in the community. So
Okay.
one of my goals is to try to use my talent to foster a better sense of community. And if I can do that just through being an example as an artist, visual art, like I said, that I do the music, and not be afraid to really express myself. I haven't really done that in a long time, is actually step out and deliver my message. I do it through my music and whatever, but now it's like actually delivering the message. And I've definitely ramped up my fair share of performances for this month, and I'm making this a big month for me to just get out and perform and utilize that gift to pull people in. And just I think I want to motivate people to just be the best version of them.
Cool.
Yeah.
Okay, so you've got some performances going on this month. Where they at?
Absolutely. I have Unhinged happening this Saturday.
Okay, where's Unhinged
That's going to be
located?
happening in Green Bay.
Okay.
I'll
Once
be
you get the
posting that on my
details, post it on your
Yeah,
your
it'll be
Facebook
blasted
page or everywhere. right?
Everywhere. Yep,
Okay.
it'll be everywhere. So definitely be on the lookout for that. And look me up, Philip Lopez on Facebook. Also, I have a performance at a Get Out the Vote event next weekend on
Okay.
the 13th. That's happening at the Lyric Room. And that's open to everybody, and definitely come check that out. That's one thing that I've been doing in the community as well too, is getting in more involved in the issues around us. I hate saying politics because that's got such like it just puts a sour notion.
It's got a negative connotation.
Absolutely,
nowadays,
man.
especially what's going around in the politics, or what's going around in that arena now. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And that came from, and that goes full circle what we were talking about before, as far as having different values now. And one of the big moments for me that kind of changed what I valued was what was happening on Standing Rock. and what was happening to the indigenous people out there. And then there was different people from different tribes that went out there to take part in that protest.
To stand with them.
Yeah,
Right,
and
right.
Menominees and Oneidas as well too. And
Yep.
I had relatives that were out there, and they came back with firsthand accounts, and obviously seeing what was happening through on YouTube.
Let's both go now, let's ride. I done took some time to get this far. I done made it out my situation. On first stab, they put me. What could be, what could have been. Well, it never was. It was all because I followed me through the dark and that awful shit. And honesty, you should have seen me pack. There was no way to get back. In fact, one way, one day was my ticket, and there's no